Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys, and another great day to talk about markets, right? CPI print, our beloved macro data. We're hearing from Jerome Powell next week. I think we've even got some very thrilling jobs data potentially coming our way on Friday as well. I know how much we love the macro data. Unfortunately, it does impact the markets, and we will be talking about all of that, as well as, of course, the impact that it will have on the charts on our precious risk assets. And then some. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome. I hope you all have had a great start to your week so far. We are kind of coming around the midpoint of the week. So yeah, we will see how we kind of trade into the weekly close at this point, just given off the fact that, I mean, we kind of had been relentlessly pumping into the CPI print. This morning, we're selling off a little bit. Is this just the scare before higher, or maybe is this the trend that we're going to see into the end of the week? But before we can start talking about all of our thoughts and opinions on kind of how we're interpreting the sell-off this morning, as well as the high time frame complexion of a lot of these charts, I'm going to love if you guys could smash that like button for us. And as Max always says, I would love to live in a world where hitting the like button did not matter, and that our channel could just be assessed for the quality of its content, which I think is pretty solid. And clearly a lot of you guys do as well. But unfortunately, we do kind of operate on the currency of likes, just like the fiat system operates under, dollars, pounds, etc. So if you guys could smash that like button for us, we'll go ahead and get started. But yeah, let's have a great day, guys. Comments are already active. I love it. But yeah, to get into charts on a bit more of a lower time frame basis, right? We kind of walked up the charts into CPI today. We got the print. There was not really that much lower time frame volatility. I kind of think the market more or less priced in this positive CPI print yesterday when we had the positive PPI print. I mean, there's usually not too many discrepancies between the two. Right. So we probably did price in the CPI print, at least going into this morning. The question is, how will the back half of the day trade? How will the week trade now that we are kind of seeing the first weakness that we've seen really since the start of the week? I mean, Bitcoin and ETH are both about 2% down. Sol is maybe about to go red on the day, but equities are really not responding with too much downside. It doesn't seem like there's going to be what's that Chud Jack meme, right? Like nothing ever happens. That's kind of that, at least so far today, that's kind of how it feels at the moment. But yeah, the market is continuing to chop and grind. And the question I ask myself, is this going to be a chop and grind that reverts into a V recovery, or is this going to be a chop and grind that potentially, forms a shoulder? And if it does form a shoulder, we're probably at least back testing the low, possibly lower. So what is going to happen? Because this is a key pivot, right? Like I kind of use ETH as a great barometer, given that we came into, this morning we effectively came into a pretty critical volume node, a value area high, where if you're going to break above it, you probably will trade about 5 to 10% higher at least, and you'd probably do it pretty quickly. So it's not a surprise that sellers stepped in where they did. But the question I continue to ask myself, and you'll probably hear me ask it again on this show, do we trade lower, or are we going to V recover out of last week's dump? But yeah, that sets the stage, I think, for the show, probably. But I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about the markets here. I'm sure probably not too many thoughts on the CPI print itself. I mean, I think we all kind of expected inflation data to continue to come down, at least for now. But maybe some commentary on the lower time frame of the market. It might be too early, though, to discern directionality just yet. What do you guys think?
Man, I mean, after I drew the volume nodes, I don't think ETH looks as bad as I thought it did, honestly. I mean, it's really not terrible looking. I mean, kind of at first at first glance, it doesn't look that great, but I mean, I think you hold that, you're good. Let's delete these now. Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. This is probably the range you're gonna play in. Like, I know Jackus thinks we're gonna slice through this like butter, which I would love. That'd be great, but I don't know. I think you just gotta flip these highs with conviction, man. Like, I think you just can't, I kind of use
You
CPI.
can't grind into them, man.
Yeah,
you gotta literally just jet through them. Just
you gotta put in a
slam 'em.
God candle up in here, right? Like
Yeah.
right there. So, I don't know. I mean, on what, the 6 hour, still a slow grind, right? This is still technically a slow grind. That could still be the reality. We got a great print, right? We got a great print. What do we talk? 2.9%. What are we talking about? Somebody tell me what we are talking about. Okay.
I kind of think you priced in the CPI print yesterday with PPI.
Yeah, a little bit. They definitely front ran it, but like it was as good a print as you could have gotten, right? Like, I wouldn't have wanted to see like 2.7, 2.6, right? I wouldn't have want to see month over month, like, sub zero, right? Like negative. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty damn good. Now, obviously, somebody in the Discord said this, right? Like, it's good, Stimmy. Somebody in the Discord said, like, CPI last year in 2022, nobody cares anymore. It's all about labor data, and I'm like, you're not wrong, honestly. Like, the labor market is arguably at this point more a focal point than is CPI, right? Because like, you're kind of right. Like, the CPI, people are just expecting it to be low, priced in, whatnot. The labor data is what's really kind of a question mark here. So,
it's the claims data, bro. People keep talking.
Yeah.
They keep saying fucking. No, excuse me. They keep saying labor. It's claims. I'm gonna say it a million times. Claims. If people are not claiming unemployment, they're finding other jobs. It doesn't matter if they lose their job. 1 million people can lose their job, but if they find 1 million other jobs the next day, it's irrelevant. It never mattered. And I think that that's what people are not looking at. If people are not claiming unemployment, the economy is fine. If people are claiming unemployment, the economy is screwed, because it means that people are not finding jobs. And then you got to see claims continue to be high month over month, because then you've got multiple months of claims. And now, oh shit, guess what? You got people living off the government, which means they're not spending. And if they're not spending, guess what? Shit's about to go down.
So do you think JOLTS is more important than NFP?
I think claims is much more important than unemployment.
Yeah.
And I've stated this since the beginning of 2023. And I feel like bears, they cherry pick unemployment as if unemployment matters. If you can find a job the next day, it's irrelevant. It's literally irrelevant. You can have people. Here's the thing, like IBM, Facebook, all these guys, what do they lay off? Like 15,000 people at a time on average? 20,000 people at a time on average. If those people go out tomorrow or a week from now and find a job and never claimed unemployment, guess what? That 15,000 person layoff didn't matter.
Yeah.
It never mattered.
Wait, Will, do you think you see this comment?
What?
Super chats are a sign of ultra bullish. I'm like, I mean, dude, if people are willing to spend money on YouTube, like, what are we talking about, right? Kind of thing. Like, what are we talking about?
Think about how miserable people were at the bottom.
Yeah, you think people are super chatting if they're like broke and it's a bear market? Like, no, man, not happening. So
I think we're just seeing different parts of the economy struggle, right? Like, it feels more like a middle class recession or like a white collar recession than anything else. Like, I mean, I'm sure we can all point anecdotally to people that we know in real life that are struggling to find jobs, but a lot of those jobs aren't necessarily like, they're not something like engineering or a super high in demand job, and they're not to the blue collar degree. You know, you could become I mean, I'm sure there's a huge demand for like trades right now. So I think really the jobs that are getting hit the hardest are probably in that middle class territory, the ones that companies are finding more easily replaceable, which seems harsh, but it is always at the end of the day based on finances.
Well, let me present a scenario to you, because I've worked in the construction field for a long time on the engineering side. What's the first part of the economy to get smacked in the face when the economy is starting to roll downhill? What's the first one to start showing signs?
Spending, like middle class spending.
And so if it's spending, that means clients, and if it means clients, that means buildings, right? So people stop building new buildings. That's what ends up happening. Construction gets smacked in the freaking face immediately when the economy starts rolling downhill. So when construction starts getting smacked in the face immediately, guess what? You're starting to see an economic slowdown. Go look at engineering jobs. Anybody out there, just go look at engineering jobs. They're so high in demand right now, it's not even funny. It's absolutely not even funny. Like the amount of demand in the engineering field and in the construction field. Like, go look up construction jobs. They're immense. They're massive. Why is this the case? Because guess what? People are building new buildings. Why? Because companies are making money. And guess what that means? That means there's jobs. And if there's jobs, guess what that means? That means the economy is doing fine. I mean, 2 and 2 equals 4. It doesn't equal 5. It doesn't equal 3, even though you may want it to. Like, it's not a difficult read. I know a lot of people like to read into data as if they understand the economy, but like I said, like, it's not about unemployment even. It's about claims. Are people claiming, and so on and so forth. These tech jobs, like, these people will switch careers, they'll switch jobs, they'll go to another company. You think somebody from Facebook's not going to get scooped up by some second or third tier company? 100% they are. You're from Facebook? Oh yeah, come on in. You're from Google? Oh yeah, we want you. Definitely. And they'll get the same pay, or at least similar pay to what they were getting. Like, people have to understand how this works. When you start to see the construction field take a big hit, it's probably over. It's probably over.
I will say, Will, I do think we're probably getting close, if we're not already there, at least like America as a country. I think these trade jobs like plumbers, electricians, it's going to be very difficult. And I know that those are different from just being explicitly construction, but I do think at least trade jobs that we've seen have been in higher demand over the last few years. I don't really know if I think that trend is going anywhere, because I really believe that we've transitioned into almost exclusively a consumer economy at this point. So the American economy is the consumer, right? Like, if we're still seeing spending, you have to imagine that the brunt of the economy is still relatively strong.
Yeah, I can tell you again, just another thing you can do too is just track wages month over month. Look at like high end white collar wages and blue collar wages, high end ones, where they make a lot of money, because there are, like, plumbers make a ton of money. So yeah, blue collar does make a lot of money too. And look at those wages and tell me if wages go down or if they go up, because I haven't seen wages come down at all. I've only seen them continue to rise. Why do wages typically rise? If you don't know, that's fine.
If wages are rising for you, you got to tell me where, like where that is. I mean, I feel like you can see it in some jobs, but I feel like other jobs, the wage growth has been very, very stagnant, like entry level roles. And I would say intermediate level roles. Yeah. But you would expect them to increase with inflation typically, or with productivity.
That's
and
always
right now
been
we're not
an issue with
either inflation or productivity increase.
Yeah, entry levels always had a problem with getting raise increases, but I think like mid to high tier, experience roles are typically increasing year over year. And as of lately, they've increased exponentially. In 2021, they came up massively. This year, they've even been increasing, and they've been able to hold that foothold of increase on wages. If wages are overinflated, they would have come down. They would have come down in 2022, and I think that not seeing them come down from 2022, and well, I think they came down slightly, right? Slightly in 2022, but they've been increasing since then, and an increase in wages or high end wages is basically stating that you're continuing to see demand for those fields, right? If there's no demand, the wage growth goes down. It doesn't go up. And we're again, I'm just giving you guys different economic data that you can look at, not us on the panel, but the audience that you can look at to kind of see, okay, is wage growth going down? Is wage growth going up? Are claims going up? Are claims coming down? Like this is the data you want to look at. It's not freaking unemployment and all this other shit that people like to tout. Like that shit, like there's too many other data points that you need to look at to see if you have a growing economy or if you have a shrinking economy.
I mean, guys, are these charts you want to bet against? Like, you got consumer spending, GDP, the money supply, and the S&P 500, and they are just up only.
The S&P 500 on the monthly chart is like an unbelievable chart.
I mean,
really is.
If this was Tommy, if this was a shit coin, I mean, what are we talking about? This is a breakout. Like, this is not. It is a shit coin, but this is like, it's a breakout and it's about to fly. It's gonna keep flying. Look at that. What are we talking about? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can explain the Warren Buffett thesis. Julian asked if why I think, or I don't know if she said me, but she said, why do we think Warren Buffett sold a lot of Apple? I think a lot of people are selling stocks, and now it doesn't mean that number won't go up, because I think number will continue to go up. But they're selling stocks because they see better opportunity in buying high interest rate bonds that they could sell later at a lot more money. They'll sell them on open market at a lot more money, and then rotate that money back into stocks. Like it's a kind of like a what do we call arbitrage play, right? They're arbitraging the economy essentially. It's not because they're fearful of in my opinion, I want to state this in my opinion. I don't think it's because they're fearful of economic downfall. I think that they're doing this as an arbitrage because they know high interest rates bonds will sell for a S ton later on, when bonds, basically interest rates come down significantly to near nothing, right? At some point, interest rates for bonds will be at zero, just like they were before. And then you'll have banks buying these bonds from Warren Buffett, and he'll rotate that capital back into stocks more than likely. This is the game plan I think he's doing.
I think some of that too, Will, is that like dated calls have been, at least before this volatility spike, dated calls were so cheap. So theoretically, what you could have done is you could have been selling your stocks, your spot, and then you've been buying dated calls for these assets to still capture upside on them for much cheaper. But you're securing, I mean, effectively stock that you've been holding for decades. So in Warren Buffett's case, I think it's a little bit different than your average investor. But like, I do think that is a viable strategy here. If you are kind of betting on a recession, maybe not yet, but over the coming years, you can slowly sell out of your stock while buying this call exposure for super cheap and still have that dated exposure to upside, while not risking all the gains that you've already made and holding something like Apple, for example.
So,
but I don't know if you can do that anymore because calls aren't as cheap after the vol blowout last week.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that looking at like show the S&P on the big run there on the monthly. Go back to like let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, look at the updraw from 2019.
Study the quarterly chart, bro.
Like look at this. Look at this chart, guys. Like what are we even talking about? People are like, "Oh, why are people selling?" Yeah. What are we talking about here?
This isn't even the full history. Look at this.
Why do we even discuss pullbacks? Why do we even discuss them? Unless you anticipate the economy collapsing, it's not even a discussion here. Like you can literally just buy forever. That's it.
Well, it is an index, so you can't really trade it like a shit coin because there's going to be constantly changing components that are going to probably limit the overall downside that you can see in it, right? Like it's going to be the best performers ending up in the index over a long enough period of time. So it's not like you're going to capture all of these, you know, these market cyclical downturns that we see on something like crypto and other risk assets to as great of a degree.
Yeah.
And if we are, then I mean, it's like that's when you get into depression territory. But I don't really think that that's where we're at yet.
Well, here's the thing too with the depression discussion. I think not enough people talk about it. Like depression was a possibility when there weren't stops, there weren't halts. They couldn't stop stocks from trading and so on and so forth, right? Then you had bigger players and companies that could wash out the economy essentially. They can't do that anymore. They can't do it. It's like halts were put in place in 1988. And there's been tons of other guardrails that have been put in place. That this economy is designed to only go up infinitely, right? With small pullbacks along the way. Now, some people may see that as differently as far as small pullbacks, but the reality is that's all it is at the end of the day. You could just buy like now, SPY, and come back in 10 years and you're up significantly. You could buy Bitcoin, come back in 10 years and you're up significantly. Like you don't even have to day trade this. This is why like I get so confused why people getting upset about drawdown. It's just like what's the issue here? We're not in a bear market. Bear markets go months.
I mean, what was this? I mean, I really feel like you're in one of these phases, right? And you've only been doing it for like a year, but I don't know, man. It just is silly to me to fade it. It's silly.
I'll say this: like I was a buyer of Tesla before the first split, so I benefited from that. A lot of other people didn't see it coming, right? I lived in California. I saw the regulation they were putting in place. Although these guys are not, they're gonna force people into this EV situation, and it became a really good narrative. And I think it still will be a good narrative. I'm not saying like you have to like buy EV cars or any of that shit. I'm just saying what the government is doing, right? They're incentivizing these companies immensely to do this. So they're basically, these companies are not paying taxes and shit if they make EV cars. They're getting massive tax write-offs and they're also getting checks cut from the government to, you know, create infrastructure for EV infrastructure. So with that being said, like it's just about seeing the writing on the wall and seeing where the right, you know, right positioning can be made. And I think like looking at this market where it's at and where it's been, I think that we still have more gas in the tank to go. And I think in one more year we'll see some depression stage, and then, you know, we can take advantage of that. I think with Bitcoin we're close to a bottom though. I think, like I said, I talked about this yesterday. That 55K range is what I'm eyeballing. I'm eyeballing that range, the 55 to 53.
Yeah.
And this was the rejection zone I was looking for.
Starting to look less and less like a range the longer we're here.
Yeah, it's a broadening whatever.
Broadening wedge to the downside.
It's a megaphone.
Megaphone. There you go. Yeah, that's actually a really bullish pattern, man.
Yeah, go look it up. Go look up the textbook. It's bullish. It's bullish. Study.
Anytime a pattern is falling, it's price manipulation that's going to break out. Anytime it's rising, it's price manipulation that's going to break down.
This is true. Where's the... There you go.
If you just remember those two things, you'll always be good.
Look at that midline, Will. Look at that midline.
Yeah, you're right at it. But I mean, you were playing right in it before in the previous part. So it's kind of hard to tell if that's actually the mid.
Oh, it's the mid, all right. Bottom.
I like it. I like it. I don't know if we dip back down all the way to the lows again, but I think we're gonna get a partial fill here.
God, that is ugly. What's
this is what Tommy didn't want to see. This is what Tommy's like. I don't want to see.
I don't want to see a shoulder, man. I really don't.
I was like, we're gonna see his shoulder. He's like, I don't want to see his shoulder. He's like, I want to see it just break through.
I don't want to see a shoulder because if we see a shoulder, I don't know that we stop at the lows. Like I think we make a lower low in that scenario.
Yeah, and they run us to 58. This is gonna be nasty.
Exactly. Which is why I've been in the camp like you kind of need to see a V recovery out of here, more so for ETH than I think for Bitcoin, because you just look at where they're at in terms of high time frame structure. And Bitcoin recovered way harder than ETH, largely because it didn't nuke as deep as ETH did. But if Bitcoin is going to revert back into a higher low or into the lows, what does that mean for Ethereum? Honestly. And I think it goes beyond just the USD price of ETH directly, but also, you know, some of these risk proxies within ETH that haven't really, like the market bounced 30% on majors from the low, and they're still in systemic downtrends, right? Like look at, I mean, I hate to mention them, but like look at things like Pendle and ENA that have just been in persistent downtrends for months and months and months. And the lower those drop, the more risk that you just kind of create for ETH inherently.
Can you put in WGTO, Tucker?
Yes, but real quick, open interest looks bullish. Okay, open interest looks bullish, and I understand that it's price agnostic, kind of, right? Okay, right. You know, so I don't know. Right? You see what I'm saying?
All I gotta say is lose this level and it's lights out, guys.
It's lights out. Still in a range.
But still in a range, guys. Anyway, so decision time soon.
I love the forehead text. Volatility incoming.
Not out of the woods yet.
Well, I did point this area out yesterday.
All right, what did you say, Will?
Years ago, I think it's WGTO.
No,
nothing. Try I.
Is it that one right there? WGT.
No. So it's not crypto. It's all. Go to all. That's probably why.
What?
WGTO.
No, that's not it.
It should be the Weight Growth Index. Try IW. Here, let me give you this. Let me try this. Let's see if this works. Okay. Yeah, I can't get it to pull up either. So it's supposed to be like the wage growth index on like a longer term. So
USWG. US wage growth year over year.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's on the monthly.
Yeah, so if you look at that right there.
My God, that's so bullish, bro.
You see where it's at now?
Yes, dude.
It's in that range where you want it.
It's so bullish. I can't help myself. It's just so bullish. Wait a second. You get it was on log, guys. It was on log.
Yeah, but either way, you get those spikes down.
Either way, yeah, you get it's almost better on log, honestly.
But here's the thing, like before, you could see where it spiked up in 2021, right? And then once it spiked up in 2021, it basically came back down to reasonable levels. If you take it back on where, are you on log or not on log?
I'm on log now.
Take it off log real quick, just so we can see this area. So see that spike right there in 2021. If you look at where we're at right now and you drew a line straight across to the left, we're right in that reasonably priced wage growth.
Yeah.
We're not being crazily overly wage growth. Like we're basically like right where we want to be.
No volume profile doesn't work on this. But if it did work, you'd be right. Yeah, you'd be right in the middle.
Yeah, that's where you want wage growth to be. You want wage growth to be right there. You don't want it to be too high. You don't want to be you definitely don't want it to be low. Right? Low is really bad. But you are right where you want to be. Now we just need to see this thing kind of base out. And then maybe get a spike, right? We'll probably get a spike, I think, next year. And then when you see the spike in wage growth, get the hell out. Because if you look there from the spike, it basically that's where the market nuked. Is after the spike in wage growth. So if you made this is why I told people in 2021, I'm like, if you're up like 30K on your job, look for another job because you're probably gonna get fired in another year.
Yeah, so wage growth pretty much marks bottoms, right? Pretty much. Not really in 01, but 08 it did, COVID it did, right? I mean, here's the thing too. You had the shortest span, right, was 2,500 days.
It marks tops more than it marks bottoms.
No, well, it marked a bottom in 08.
No, look at the top of 2020, 2021 going to 2022.
2027, Tommy. 2027. There you go. 2027.
Put a line at the top of that at the top of that spike of each wage growth spike.
A spike?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, you're saying the tops of them. Well, this one 08 is kind of rough.
That one dropped off a little bit, yeah. But and then go to the next one.
These two kind of front ran.
Yeah, they front ran a little bit. But the point being is that wage growth was on an uptrend before the market fell over.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was the point. The point is wage growth was already moving on its way up. And when wage growth starts to go up, it goes to an unsustainable level, aka they're overpaying people. And then at that point, you see shit hit the fan. Right? These companies realize, oh shit, we're way overpaying these people. We're not making the income we need to sustain the money we're paying these people. We're going to fire the 15,000, 10,000 people that you're seeing getting fired at IBM, right? The 10,000 people you're seeing getting fired at Facebook. They're restructuring their payments. A lot of people think that those people are being fired and there are not people being rehired in their positions. In most cases, those people are being fired and somebody else is being hired at 2/3 of their overall wage.
Oh dear God in heaven! Look at the comments section.
Tucker, it's because altcoins.
Oh my God! I didn't even realize you were here, Bobby.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
I told you I was coming in hot.
Yeah.
Sneaky beaky Bobby.
Yeah, the reason why people are like this right now is because of altcoins, bro. Many people don't own BTC, Ether, Sol. They own altcoins and they've gotten slaughtered on memes. That's why. That's why.
Fair. Yeah,
like,
that's
no
fair.
one's holding Bitcoin. Nobody's holding Bitcoin. So this whole like LARPing about, BTC looks just fine at 60K. How many times have we heard that, right?
Hey man, it looks just fine here at 60K, Wabi.
Brother, no one owns Bitcoin.
That's true. That's true.
Let's be honest here,
That's
man.
a problem, man.
It is a problem.
Somebody's gonna have to buy Bitcoin.
like if you understand it, like for what it really is, like if you see someone commenting something negative, look at their profile. They're usually retweeting NFT giveaways, XRP giveaways. Like it's always that, bro. Skibbity Wobby. That's right. Wobby Jabated. Why is everyone saying Jabated now, bro? It's like
I've seen that a lot. I saw Doc said it on your show yesterday. I thought
you know why? You know why?
Jack is dead.
Debated.
Debated.
Tucker, let me get the screen, bro.
Dude, come on, Dracus. That's funny, man.
It's
God.
debated.
Yeah.
Bobby, you know what? You know what's debated, right?
Orange juice.
No.
Study.
Yeah.
We talked about this yesterday.
The thing is, bro, like if people want to see how the market's really doing, look at total 3. Like, yes, Bitcoin is a good barometer of how the crypto market's doing, but the reality is, look at TIA, look at Say, look at Dime, look at Algo, look at ETH, look at any newly listed major alt. It's disgusting. And total 3 has basically been in a perpetual downtrend for like 4.5 months and has been consolidating for a few weeks. Like, it's basically 2020 all over again. After DeFi summer, there was nothing to do in altcoin land for 5 months, and nobody is prepared for that. Like, nobody is actually prepared for PvP to continue until late December. Nobody. And, people can talk about Bitcoin.
Did you say late December?
Late December, yes, sir. I'm not capping.
Bobby, you need to seek God.
I'm not capping here, man.
Bro, look,
you
study.
best be capping.
Tommy's happy. He would love that.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
No, he would not.
I would not like that. No, if we're chopping into December, at least give me some I'd rather a big leg down than chop into December, man.
Well, I mean, if you look at total 3, guys, if you look at total 3 and the events that are coming up, right? Like, I mean, we had a good CPI print, right? Like, we had a 2 handle for the first time ever, which I think will pump us into September. But after the Fed cuts, total 3 is probably going to retest the lows. Like, it probably is. And usually when something retests the low, there's a die-off in volatility. And historically speaking, vol doesn't really pick up until we go well into November. And by that point, people are carried out. They're carted out. They lose their shirts. They lose their shirts. All grand is worthless. And the tokenomics for all grand are absolutely horrific. And the notional buyer for some of these things is non-existent.
Marginal buyer, Wabi.
At the moment, retail will buy.
So far.
Retail.
I don't know who retail is, bro.
They're not here yet.
Bush be pumping.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Are we?
He's a
Oh shit.
Are we
so
pumping?
you might retest the low here.
Oh,
Retest
Silk
the
Road
low.
FUD was bullish. Who could have
Do we have
foreseen?
Silk Road FUD?
Oh yeah, they moved it. 600 million Bitcoin. No, $600 million worth of Bitcoin.
Bro, people still talk about Silk Road. It's like China banning Bitcoin.
No, they just moved it like an hour ago.
Oh, somebody wants to get sold into. Got it.
BTC Dom is at 57%. Majority actually overrate BTC, not alts and memes. If that were the case, man, negative comments wouldn't be a thing on Twitter. And people wouldn't be DMing saying hey, I'm down 75%. Should I sell my alts?
Should I sell my alts?
Yeah.
Bro, look at
this is the point of the cycle where BTC Dom puts in one more higher high. Happened in 2016, happened in 2020. So there's always some sort of major hack during halving years, right? In 2016, there was the ETH DAO hack. ETH went from $20 down to $5. You had one of the major developers saying that ETH was just a social experimentation project. And then in 2020, you had the Sushi Swap vampire attack, which literally killed off every single new DeFi token. So I'm not sure what it is, right? This time around, maybe it's pump.fun getting hacked or shut down or something, or some meme coin goes to zero. But there's usually some kill off that actually sets the actual low for
what
total.
about jump crypto getting raided by the feds?
Yeah, something like that, man.
Hold up.
Something.
What are you guys talking about? CZ went to jail, all right? Like that's there you go. And you want more?
Yes.
No.
He said yes.
No more.
Yeah, dude, we got to look at total 3. That's like the real
And we're
thing.
looking at soybeans, Wobby.
No, that's cotton candy
Whatever. I'm sorry. Well, you're right. We are looking at cotton candy. Hang on.
on the 1 minute chart.
Will, tell them why.
I mean, you guys didn't have your glass of milk this morning. You lacked the proper protein to stretch your finger and hit the button, and your dad may never come home. Don't pick up the Snickers.
Wow. Couldn't have said it better. Guys, hit the button. Hit the
In the
button.
background.
Yeah, what am I hearing? Who's typing?
Jackus is watching the news right now because
Wobby,
there's no
stop
point in
typing.
him on the show.
While he's looking up something.
No,
on
it's
the
yeah,
Steam
me.
Echo.
It's me.
Wab is typing me.
Bobby, I'm gonna look through the reflection off your glasses to know what you're looking
Yeah, I
at.
can see it.
Guys,
It's Discord. I was messaging Jackus for the spaces.
he's above 3K by end of the week. I have
Hey,
spoken.
we're at 179 likes, Jackus. What do you have to say about that?
179.
Now
I
we're
mean,
at 180.
Do we just G the stream right now? Like people ask why is Jackus not talking? Well, you guys know why. You need
We
to
know what we
behave.
should do. We should chart orange juice against Ethereum.
No.
That should be the new soybean chart. Orange
Oh,
juice
my.
against Ethereum. ETH above 3K by the end of the week. Well, Trading Axe says that Bitcoin and ETH within 48 hours are going to be above their monthly open. So
What?
Yeah. Trading Axe.
Look, I'm bullish, but I'm not delirious.
8 more. We'll get to 200. I'll change the chart, guys. 8 more. Study this in the meantime.
Pet Rock versus LTC. That's funny, man. Do Bacon. That's funny. Bananas BTC.
Julianne wants to see bacon. That actually might be a good chart. Isn't that like hog
5
futures or
more.
something?
This is cotton candy. I don't think you can get bacon. Can we get
Hog
bacon?
futures determines the future of bacon.
Yeah, I was
Hog
gonna
futures.
say you want, but that's lean hog. I feel like bacon would be from like fat hog futures.
Lean Hog. Tucker,
Yeah,
you
I
should
don't know how I
put
feel
your
about hogs.
Discord PFP right at that chart right there for crude palm oil futures.
Should I change my Twitter profile picture to it?
I think you should. You should have changed your Twitter PFP a couple of days ago, to be honest with you.
I mean, when Jackus says these erratic statements, if you guys want answers, all you had to do is hit the like
All right,
button to the
there we
point to
go.
where he likes it, and then he'll
206.
answer you. But you can't get answers if you can't give him the likes that he requires. That's basically how this works. So if he says something, you're like, man, why'd he say that? And you want the answer to why he said that, you really have to, kind of step it up on the like button.
What do you guys think about Aave?
It's not a hard game.
I'll use Aave in December, or I'll borrow money and I'll just hold. I think that's the move to do. Like, just buy like 50% net worth in ETH, borrow 50% against it, and then put it all on alts. And then when ETH doubles, just like, I don't know, take out your loan and all that stuff. Take it out.
All I'm saying is that altcoins, fundamental altcoins, we're starting to see them one by one make moves. That's all. You're starting to see some life.
Are you talking about dinos? Or are you talking about like last
Dinos.
year?
Dinos.
Like what?
Like, Sui's
I
not
mean,
a dino.
Study
But-
Matic, Will. Study Matic.
Yeah, I was
Look,
about
we're
to
not
ask,
talk-
did you guys
Matic-
Going to 0.
Matic was
This is
never
okay.
real. Okay, Matic was never
the
real.
thing with these altcoins, man, is that like there's just I'm going to say it again. There's too much dilution, too many emissions, and there's no planned buyers. A lot of these altcoins, like the market makers are gone, the books are thin. No one's going to save them against Bitcoin and ETH and Sol. Like,
Well, you know what the best indicator of the altcoin market is, though?
dude, look. Number one, there's too many emissions, meaning there's too much supply coming onto the market. Number two, there's not enough buyers. And number three, there's too much dilution. There's going to be so many tokens that are going to come out in Q4 and Q1 that all these are going to get destroyed, completely destroyed, wiped off the map.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. People thought the same thing about Luna, and they restructured. They restructured in 2021.
No, Luna came out the cycle before. I'm talking about like I'm talking about like tokens from last cycle, and I mean even tokens from this cycle, right? Like Pump.Fun is actually like destroying altcoin land, and same thing with these VCs. There's too many L1s, too many L2s, and just too much dilution overall, right? And the thing is, like, we don't actually know how the cycle is going to play out until ETH and Sol make an all-time high. Like, if you were still playing Chainlink and Acropolis, that was a hot altcoin in 2020.
I haven't even heard.
If you were still playing Kusama, which I played in DeFi Summer, you basically bled out to death against ETH after it broke all-time high, right? And the rest of the altcoin market. Like, if you still played trendy tickers from DeFi Summer and earlier that year, you bled out against the rest of the market. And there's a high likelihood once ETH breaks all-time high that the runners moving after that, like, we just don't know what they're going to be just yet, right? Like, we do have our beta plays right now. Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying, like, outside of that, we really don't know, because at the moment, most of these alts are actually trash. Like, they're garbage.
Tucker, let me get the chart.
Yeah, Ondo, like even Ondo, like, who's to say Ondo isn't?
What does Ondo even do?
I don't know, dude. Some tokenized bonds, but like I'm being real here, no joke. Joe Biden, that was a Joe Biden quote, by the way. So look, here's the deal. Like, if you guys pull up XTZ Tezos, right? Tezos was crypto's baby in 2020. It was the market's baby in 2020, and it was this fundamental thing where, like, they're gonna tokenize the stock market and you're gonna earn yield and all that stuff. And it was pretty much like the first Ondo, right? Like, oh, institutions are buying this thing, right? XTZ is from like 2020, by the way. It's not from like.
No, it's from 2017, bro.
Do you know that XTZ sponsored Manchester United? Which is fucking crazy.
I see that chart now, Tucker. Yeah.
It's from 2017. It went to $12.
Bro, like, here's what I'm saying, though. Look. We always say these things aren't coming back. It came in at 2017. It lost almost all of its gains, like almost 100%. Look, 97% down. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they did revive it.
Well, right? You need to get off of log mode for this one,
bro. But no, look at the percentage.
I do have to mention something with Tezos. Like, Tezos, for like the first 2 years of trading, it was an IOU. You weren't actually able to trade it. It was like Polkadot, right? When Polkadot came out, it was trading at like $100-something, $200-something. It was an IOU, right? And when it actually went live on exchanges and people were able to trade it, that is when they rebranded and all that stuff, and they did the whole token redenomination thing, and then you were able to trade it. But like, if you look up what happened to XTZ, right, Tezos, you weren't actually able to trade the thing, right? It was like it was a fugazi, right? Like, you should consider 2020 moving forward, the chart for Tezos. It was like the weirdest thing ever. But yeah. Freaking XTZ.
I tend to agree. Like, I think you're right, and on the fact that, like, some of these won't be getting the same gains they did get. A lot of these did see dilution in heavy ways.
Well, I'm also talking about dilution against like other tokens because last cycle,
I'm talking
right?
about just their own token.
Yeah, that too, right? Like the cycle right now, it's attention driven, and like yeah, your token might be trending right now. Like look at Billy, like legit, look at Billy. Billy was like the hottest thing on Sol, and then Nero comes out and freaking Billy topped. That's it. It was done. Fugazi. And so who's to say that like like even these fundamental tokens, right? Like yeah, they've been pumping the hardest out of their lows, but who's to say like some fundamental token might come out in Q4 and steal the limelight, right? Like look at AVAX, right? AVAX last cycle, like they coordinated their TGE right when BTC was at like 27K and ETH was knocking the door at 1,000, right? They launched at the perfect time. And they stole a lot of attention from like other tokens, right? And you have to make sure that you're not going to be holding Chainlink from Q4 of 2020, right? Because it rallied over the summer, right? And for a lot of alts, right, it's probably going to be the case, right? Like I think total 3, like the expectations for upside, like they should honestly be like tamed for the cycle. There's way too many altcoins coming on to think that like total 3 is actually going to be something that pumps your altcoin severely, right? Like yeah, man, it's too much.
I mean, I agree on like if shit looks like this, it's probably done, right? Like this is done. That's more than likely done.
The hell is that?
What are these tickers?
Like I played these in 2021. Curate. This XCN looks okay. It looks like actually that looks like a bottom. There was a few other ones I was looking at here that looked really bad. But
there was so much dispersion in 2021 that you could have made an altcoin that nobody's heard of still to this day.
But I will say this, like, even though like a good chunk of these look cooked, like some of these look legitimate. Like look at YFI, for instance. Like I would arguably say like regardless of people's feelings about whether these will come back or not, that's from a TA perspective, that's a floor, right? I would arguably say it hasn't really violated. It's holding the floor, it's holding the low. Zcash, right? Another one too, right here. Ran up, obviously destroyed people on the way back down. 2017, boom, came down almost 97%. And then subsequently moved back up another 1,300%. So not bad gains, really, if you think about it. And now we're back down again another probably another 90 something percent. I'd say 97 because I didn't get the top there. And arguably it's already pumping back out the low. And even if they were to form a lower high structure here, this is still a good play. It's still a really good play. Like let's say dilution has limited this to come up to trend and reject there. You still got a 200% move there. That would be your cycle top though, and that's not a lot. That's not enough for me, right? I don't care about that shit. But arguably, like looking back at history has proven time and time again, if they can form a floor, it's great. Like this this wormhole, that shit looks like it's going to zero. I probably wouldn't buy that. There's no floor there.
Literally,
it just keeps
no
dumping.
Mm-hmm.
It just keeps dumping in a straight line down. And that's a new token.
A wild chart.
If you come up here to these other ones though, they've kind of formed floors. Like Woo's kind of formed a floor. I don't know about that shitcoin. Wrapped 9 Chronicles Gold, whatever the fuck this is, looks like it kind of formed a floor, but it also did break it. And here I would even say
the most cluttered watch list I've ever seen.
Oh, it's terrible, bro.
I cannot delete this stuff, bro. I gotta keep it on here.
You're like a hoarder of
he's
a hoarder of tickers, bro. I'm a hoarder of tickers. 2017 top over here. So ADA has a further out chart, by the way. Actually, I might have it here on this one. Let's see. Do I have 8 on this one? So this is the thing I'm trying to tell people to watch out for, though, man. Like You don't want to be that person to left curve the easiest plays. Because like ADA, for instance, this is your 2017 top. This is where everybody's like, oh, it'll never come back. It's 98% down. And then ADA, all of a sudden, you know, even with dilution, even we won't even take it to the low. We'll say you got in where you started to see it level back up. And you're at 11,700%.
I think one thing to put into context here, just for some context, right? Like ADA was severely trending even during that echo bubble in 2019. After ADA had bottomed at like 2 cents in December of 2018, off of those lows, ADA was one of the strongest tokens out of that bottom, and it did like a 500% move. And moving forward, like if you were active in crypto, right, very active, like it was the most brain dead dollar cost average next to ETH, and there wasn't even any yield because proof of stake wasn't even live, right? Like even using wallets back then, right, for altcoins, like the dataless wallet, right, like it would take hours for your balance to load. It would take hours and hours for your wallet to load and to sync up with the latest updates and all that stuff. And there wasn't like altcoins coming out left and right in 2020 and 2021, right? Like the signal last cycle was basically Solunavax, ADA, ETH. That was pretty much it, right? And of course, like Doge.
Well, the biggest takeaway that I would say that people should take from this, from what I'm talking about, is anything that formed a higher high from last cycle, good tech. It'll probably run again. Anything that formed a lower high, watch out. You're probably not going to get as big a gains. But even if ADA runs back to the high here, it's only 2,100% from its previous 11,500%. So don't get into the mindset of you're going to get exponentials in the same way. The point that I wanted to say, though, this was a lucky play, right? You got lucky. You picked the right one. Nobody down here was talking about ADA. Nobody down here was talking about ADA. Everybody said the shit was over. And it ran. It ran a lot.
I
right?
was.
Well, you know what I'm saying. The crowd, Jackus, the crowd, the majority was not talking about ADA. Everybody was, you know, basically talking about Bitcoin. And I would say even the same thing with Ethereum. A lot of people weren't talking about Ethereum as much down here either. After 2017, they said Ethereum was dead. It was over. Now everybody's like, I'm an Ethereum maxi. And now it's Solana, right? Now everybody's like, I'm a Solana maxi. But they're a Solana maxi at the highs. They're not a Solana maxi at the lows. They're not a Solana maxi when Solana was at value. They're a Solana maxi when Solana was overvalue, or at least within the range of overvalue. And this is atypical with a lot of people. And I would say even Caspa people get it right. The cubic people, they get it. I think that those are all good plays that'll probably end up playing out well for a lot of those guys and girls. But the point being is that I like charts that look like this. I don't like charts that look down. And yeah, I do agree. Somebody said that Zcash didn't even make all-time high. That is true. That is true. But Zcash still did numbers. It still did numbers. If you take it from the low to high, you got 1,800%. I mean, this time around, you'll probably get 500%. You know, if it doesn't break all-time high. If it breaks this trend, you're going up significantly. And arguably, I would say one sleeper, everybody's going to LOL at me. That's fine. Is this one, right? I think this is going to be the most hated rally, but I think it's already started to form its way back out of these lows. And I think ICP will be, because this one destroyed people. It absolutely, like when FTX came in and manipulated this shit back down and played everybody, you know, when people lost stupid amounts of money in this play. Just like ridiculous amounts of money.
Coinbase deserves the blame for this one because they listed it at $1,000, which is honestly pretty criminal when you look back at the current price. They let retail buy ICP at $1,000. Think about that for a second. The FDV of this coin is still 3.7 billion, by the way, which I'm not saying it won't pump because it's kind of like the TikTok Zoomer coin or one of them, but
yep.
Man, it's like it'll never reach all time. It'll never go back to $1,000, man.
You guys
Well-
want to see? You guys want to see an altcoin that actually like might moon? If we think fundamentals are coming back, check this out. Yeah, I think you guys can see it, right? I shared it.
Yeah.
But look at this. Share market cap. Market cap is like way better of an indicator. Or we can do price. I don't know. Kind of the same thing, but usually
FDV is 500 mil.
yeah, it's
What,
basically
10%? 10% float.
Yeah, it's basically the same. Like if we think fundamentals / VC stuff are gonna come back, this would be it, right? Yeah,
When are the
Wabi
unlocks?
starting from Gecko. That's right, brother, and it works.
When are the unlocks?
Yeah, when are the unlocks?
like a year from now. So
Pull it up. What's that website called? Token Vesting or something?
yeah, but anyways, we just shake gainers and losers. Shocker. What a shocker. Memes, and memes, bro. The market has decided. The market has decided.
Too much PvP, man. Market's so diluted, it's not even funny.
Yeah, it is, man. It really is. Oh my gosh, Tucker. Zcash against the US dollar. Zcash against the USDC.
You weren't supposed to see that.
Yeah, it's supposed to see. Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
so we
we-
got a little bit higher and then it's over.
This is the Will's outlook chart right here. What are you talking about, Will?
You know what's remember Tucker NGL when we were looking at that yesterday? That's oh gosh.
Oh,
Yeah. That is
what is this chart? First of all, wait. What
That
am I
is-
on?
nuts, man.
Should I go buy bit? Yeah, let's go buy bit. Oh,
I have
my.
question.
It won't
have
even
question.
register. We can move on, Tucker. Tucker, we can move on. We can move on. It won't even register. Like your chart is so bad if we can't even pull it up.
No, we can't. This is Jackass now. This is Jackass.
That's the lower highs, though, man. That's the
What
lower
a
highs.
pig. What a pig.
Easy
Guys,
play
we-
there, Jackass.
We're going
Max
40,000 per
Colby.
hour.
Robbie would pick
No.
a coin called El Camino. El Camino is basically like the Ave. It's the Ave of
Rough.
Solana. It's the lead lending platform from Solana. And like, you know, one thing I do want to mention, I mentioned this on a previous market check. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on a market check like 2 weeks ago or something, but Helium, that thing has been on quite the tear, you know.
People
for
missed the
last
boat on it.
Plus, say that again.
People missed the boat on it. Should
Nah,
have picked it up on the bear.
I don't think so, man. Look at this, right? Look at the high. It's like $50. Yeah, I think that this thing is probably just getting started. But the thing is, right? Like you have to really look at market cap when it comes to these things. But like the float, I mean, it's pretty fair, right? Most of the circulating supply.
How much dilution has it had since then?
Not much. Like most of the supply got unlocked like right around here. That's where most of the supply came on. That's when helium mining, like the helium miners, that's when they were like really crazy. I think Max was even like mining some HNT and all that stuff. But you know, if you think fundamental coins are coming back and all that stuff, right? Like you kind of want to look at some assets on Sol, which I think are probably good.
This coin.
Yeah, ATO,
This
right?
coin, I thought it was about to play out a fractal to a
But-
T.
but look at this.
A 0 instead.
Yeah, but look at this, Tommy. But the thing is, right, you have to count circulating supply and total supply, and there are unlocks coming out next year, right? So that's the other
Anything with unlocks in the next year, I'm not touching.
I'm just
Right.
kind of bearish
That's-
on Sol right now, Wabi, because I think
That's fine.
the whole pump.fund saga has inflated the circulating supply of Solana. I do think that's kind of why you're seeing it underperform. majors over the last like week or so, especially relative to ETH, right? Like Sol ETH, in my opinion, looks terrible, but I think you're starting to see some of that, like when people use the network that much, and those tokens are going to validators, that inflation on Sol, and who are validating the Solana blockchain? VCs.
Handsome.
VCs. So I mean, I just think there's a reason why Sol is kind of lagging behind right now, and at least for a little bit, it's going to take Solana, I think, a bit more time to digest all of the token inflation from Pump.fund, mainly from Pump.fund.
Yeah. So I like Sol specifically, right? Like I think it'll outperform Ethereum in the next like 12 plus months. Like, and you know, for the majority of the cycle, Sol ETH and ETH Sol have been going back and forth, right? Like if you pull up Sol ETH from like, you know, mid-September all the way to late December, Sol ETH outperformed. And then for the next like 2 months, you had ETH Sol outperform. And then from February, basically up until like last week, Sol ETH outperformed, right? Actually, no. Sol ETH outperformed from February to May, and then went into a downtrend for 2 months, and then Sol ETH outperformed and made macro all-time highs.
Bobby, let me just help you here real quick.
Yeah.
There's Sol ETH.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be like macro bearish on that stuff. Like, I think you're on drugs. Like even the metric. No joke. Here's the deal, right? You know the thing. But
I think it's going to retrace a lot, and then people are going to say that the top is in forever, and then it's going to V-recover. That's kind of what I think is going to happen to Sol ETH.
If that means that I get to like accumulate assets like a Mumu, for example, right? Like look at this thing, bro. In the summertime when Sol ETH was going crazy, right? Let's put market cap. This thing basically pulled out like, you know, like a 500-600% move, right? And it moves cleanly with Sol ETH. So, you know, if you're bullish, right, and we're all bullish on Andy, right? Like if you take a look at ETH BTC, anytime ETH BTC has rallied, Andy has gone absolutely crazy, right? If you check these time periods, right, from May all the way to June, all these little rallies in between, right? This rally right here, when ETH rallied all the way to like 3,500-ish, right before the ETF, right? Same thing with Wolf. It's kind of the same thing on Sol, right? You know, take a look at Wolf. Anytime ETH has rallied, this thing has gone absolutely crazy. This thing is basically paired 1-to-1 with ETH, right? And same thing with Mumu and Sol, even Popcat, right? If you guys, you know, you guys have Sol ETH, right, paired up, you know, take a look at what happened with Popcat, right? Let's put market cap, right? You know, from June, right, all the way to like the Sol ETH high, Popcat dipped like a 3x, right? So, you know, where I'm getting at is like, I just think this entire cycle is going to be categorized by like beta, basically, right? And as far as like things on Sol, like I legitimately think there are some like, you know, beta trains to catch on Sol with tickers that are relatively new, not super new, but are relatively new, that are comparable, you know, to like, you know, like a MOG from last year, or even like a ticker Bitcoin, right? You know, those are two beta plays that survived Q3 of last year. And I think something, you know, like a Popcat and like a Mumu, are things that are likely to survive, and they're not like super.
Bobby, the real Mumu is on ETH, bro. Obviously.
You're on crack, dude. That thing is an actual rug.
I'm kidding.
That thing is actual trash, man.
The real Mumu is on blast, Bobby.
On blast? Oh gosh.
Let me get the screen real quick, Jackus. Let me get that screen.
On the Sui blockchain.
But another asset.
Donate.
I want to feel as much alpha.
They put the training wheels on my bike. But
You guys want to look at something else, man? Check.
Yeah, check Jasmine BTC. All right, check Jasmine BTC. That's all I'm saying, bro. All right, because Jasmine about to be the play. People are sleeping. But yeah, this is Soul BTC, guys. Like, and all I'm saying is, you gotta get about there before you start getting bullish. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Well,
And we haven't done that
I'll be
yet.
flat out here. I don't think crypto makes any sort of high in any capacity until late Q4. I don't expect a thing. I don't think Total 3 is going to make any sort of all-time high until December or January of next year. I mean, December of this year, January of next year. I don't think Bitcoin makes an all-time high until like late November, early December. I don't think ETH makes an all-time high until January. I don't think Sol makes an all-time high until November, December. Like, I am not super, super bullish here as far as upside momentum. Like, I'm not. I'm just talking about, like, 12, 18 months from now. I think Sol's going to destroy ETH, to be honest. Like, if you think ETH is going to go to 6,000 and Sol's not going to be at 600, I legitimately think you're coping. Like, you are absolutely coping for no reason, because for the entirety of the cycle, the market has shown you its hand. If you didn't have any liquidity on Sol this entire summer, you did nothing. Like, you just didn't do anything. As far as like holding, right? Like hodling or even opportunities, like, there's been nothing outside of Boys Club and Mog. What has there been?
Base chain, Wabi.
Well, I'm saying over the summer. Base had that echo bubble through the entire month of May and then up until mid-June. But I'm saying, like, there's nothing else.
Nothing.
If I get Tommied one more time, all right.
Well, oh my god, I see what he was doing.
Hey, Jack is put up the Charles Schmockinson meme that you put yesterday.
Oh, you mean this one? Well, first of all, I didn't notice until now, but this guy has a bra on his eyes, man. Bulls assemble, man.
I love the chat.
God.
Just in the middle of everything.
Yeah, this dude, man.
We got screen robbing going on right now.
Charles Hoskinson. You mean this one? You mean this guy? Where is he hiding? Where is he hiding? I know. I know he's
about
somewhere.
to flip Bitcoin again, man. What are you talking about?
He disappeared, but no worries.
If we talk about like retail interest also, right? Like, looking at something like ADA might actually be some sort of like signal, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like if ADA is going up, like, things are.
There he is.
Yeah.
He's out. He lives in Colorado, I want to say.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, man.
Is there a signal in it?
Go see his ranch.
Dude, why would anybody live in Colorado, man? Like, I don't know, brother.
What, Wabi?
I don't know if anybody would live in Colorado. Like, there's just
Colorado is beautiful. Denver is.
Look, at least it's not as
beautiful.
At least it's not as bad as Kansas, bro. My goodness.
Wabi, you were about to. Wabi's like, I'm moving
Wabi's
there, bro. I'm moving there.
where you guys
Yeah,
live.
Wabi is LARPing. Wabi's geography LARPing right now.
Dude, look, but I went to Kansas City, right, like last year, and I was invited to this place called Arthur Bryant's, and there was this guy right out. We'll call him Fofar, right? So Fofar took me with cousin Bo to Arthur Bryant's, and he's like, man, trust me, every single president has come to Arthur Bryant's. It's going to be the best thing ever, dude. And then I get this thing, and it tastes like seaweed and ketchup. Yeah,
Wabi, you need to seek help.
Seaweed and ketchup. When you're when you're at the beach and you try to swim, and then when you come up, you feel like some salt water going into you, and you have some seaweed going to your teeth. That's what it tastes like with ketchup.
Well, but you need to seek help, man.
What is Arthur Bryant's, Tucker?
It's barbecue, but it's not really. It's like that vinegar style, right? It's like some people hate it. You know what I mean?
I'm not a big vinegar.
And
style.
that's not really, that's like kind of the only place in Kansas City where it's actually like really like that. Like Joe's is not, Slaps is not. Like there's a bunch of places that aren't, but Wabi did not enjoy the vinegar. I mean, I like it. It's solid, you know, like
Wabi, if you go to Kansas City, you got to get the burnt ends.
Oh, he didn't get burnt ends, bro. He got ribs and like pulled pork, and I was like, bro.
I think Will got the burnt ends.
You got to get brisket and burnt ends.
Yeah, you got to get brisket and burnt ends. If you go to South Carolina, you get pulled pork. If you go to Texas, you get ribs.
I don't even get pulled pork in South Carolina. I get the brisket.
Look, here's the deal.
Okay, well, our brisket is better.
South Carolina. look, South Carolina. Yeah. Look, South Carolina, Wyoming, Kansas City, North Dakota, South Dakota. They're all the same thing.
South Carolina.
It's the same thing, dude.
Oh, shoot. We got a super chat. Hold on. We got a super chat.
He strikes again. Thank you, Crypto Maxi, for your continued support of our stream. If I know Max mentioned to you yesterday, if you reach out to him via DM, you can get that free BB Academy. But I'm not sure if you've done that yet. But I'm sure that offer is still on the table. We appreciate your super chats this week, brother.
I'm just reading it. Our children will be wrong, wondering why Daddy's such a fucking G. Wow.
What I love about South Carolina barbecue is the mustard dipping sauce.
Yeah,
you don't put it all over the barbecue. You don't put it all over the barbecue, but like dipping barbecue in a good mustard sauce that's not overwhelming, man, that's just
goodness, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Mustard.
You wouldn't get it, Wabi.
No, he
the
wouldn't
South
get
Floridian mind cannot comprehend.
You wouldn't get it.
Mustard on a hot summer humid day.
It's not like yellow mustard, Wabi. It's like there's nuance to it.
Retail resistance strikes again on BTC. What are we drawing here, Jackus? What are we drawing?
Just paintings for little kids.
Put that line back, Jackus.
Serious.
Put that line back.
It's over.
There you go. It's over. Trend's broke. It's done. It's cooked.
Want to see something?
Don't show me 1945.
Apple wasn't around back then. I think you'll be good, Will.
So, this is Apple. All right. Oh, no, it's over. Right? It's over. It's over. Oh, no, it's over. Right? Oh, wait. There's more. Oh, no, it's over. Fuck. Wait.
It's cooked.
Listen.
ETH will hit 1.5 to 2 trillion in market cap by the end of 2026.
Oh, no, it's over.
I was told the market ended this year.
Listen.
Good.
Listen, right here. Right here. Right? This is where you are. Sorry for all the text, but... Oh, no, it's over. Oh, no, it's over. Boom. Boom, new all-time highs. Boom, there you go. New all-time highs. Wrecked.
I'm okay with that.
This is a retail resistance. They're manipulating you into thinking that this is a resistance, that this is going to send the price to,
I don't think that's going to happen at all. But I do think that we're going to hesitate.
How about this? How about ETH ranges from 2,500 to 3,800 for the next 5 months, and everybody loses their shirt?
Okay, Owen.
Nah.
The shirt has been lost already.
I love that term. I love that term, dude.
When you're done, Jackus,
the shirt is torn apart right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close out the stream with my chart.
Oh no.
Who?
I don't get it.
Who is Solana?
No, I'm just saying Solana is better than Ethereum. That's okay though. They're all in the same gang, and ETH BTC is bottomed.
I'm warming up to that idea as well as the chief ETH butter on the team.
There we go, Tommy. There we go.
I didn't say I think the USD price is bottomed, but I
don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm good with it. I denominate in Bitcoin, Tommy, so I don't care about USD prices.
ETH BTC
Buddy
is
being
bottomed.
USD agnostic.
I pay all my bills in Bitcoin, obviously. 'Cause I'm a maxi. Study. The bottom's in.
Bottoms in. I subscribe to that. And again, I think that I think in a sense, like it doesn't matter if the market hesitates at the resistance or not. Like ultimately, we all know it's going up. I think the biggest point that I wanted to point out is that I thought the market would hesitate there, and it has. But at least on the Bitcoin side, we'll see with ETH. We'll see also if Bitcoin, if it can go deeper, right? Again, I think that 55K is that ideal range. If it's going to, if not, then it'll go up from here.
That's ugly.
Man, that is ugly. But
those body candles on those dailies, man.
Resistance.
What are you talking about, Will?
The daily bodies, man. The daily bottoms.
What about the daily bodies?
No, I'm just saying, like that's right around that 55K zone. Yeah.
Jackus, you're in here twice on the panel.
On your screen.
I'm not here. Like the Wabi J, that's the real one.
The Wabi J.
I'm just the debater. Sold all of my BTC, guys. We are in 2023, yet still I don't see the light for a bull run. There is no guarantee. There might be one in 2024 even, and if it should, I highly doubt it will reach the previous all-time highs or even half of it. Sold. I might buy back at 12,000 though, maybe even 8,000, which shouldn't be long from now. Good luck. Edit. This is my way to DCA. I'll be in a lesser loss if I buy when it goes lower. Second edit, some cultists in the comment didn't seem to read past the title header. I'm saying the price will go lower, 99% chance, and buying then will result in me having more BTC than now. How did it go, bruv? How did it go?
Who is that?
Jackus.
Who wrote that?
Jackus. I love my favorite copy pasta. I sold everything I had. Every coin I own is gone. I'm completely out of the cryptocurrency market. I can't take it anymore. Aggressive dumping, manipulation, everything is so intense. Crypto is over. I am out. I am very glad to meet you. Life has dreams. Each is wonderful.
I love it. That ending. Life has dreams. Each is wonderful. Listen, I highly doubt it will reach the previous all-time high or even half of it. Boom. Like, boom. And like, look at this. Buying then will result in me having more BTC than now. Legit. Now, 250% higher than then. Oh my God. And
who is that?
It's just, the sentiment that was around at the time. But like, this sentiment isn't much different. Sentiment isn't much different from the way people are feeling right now.
Yeah, right now people think the market's actually ended. It's pretty sad, to be honest with you.
So people think that, you know, and we can apply this to Ether, but they, like, lots of people are thinking that, like, I'm gonna sell easier and I'm gonna buy back way lower. Good luck.
I mean, the structure is pretty obvious on ETH. I would say, like, you've got such a strong uptrend. Like, just that trend line alone is absolutely very telling. You know, that's a trend line. Like, I was talking with Max on that first, second dip, third dip. He's like, Cheeto in the door. I'm like, it's gonna hold, and it bounced right off it every time. And it's still bouncing off the same trend. It's pretty nuts. I'm not gonna lie. I think just people are anticipating some kind of deviation, and I don't know if a deviation ever comes on Ethereum right now. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, your deviation may not come. This may actually be a clean ass chart that just nobody's anticipating to be that clean. Tommy's thinking something.
No, I'm just I'm laughing at Chimp Phone's tweet, man. He just cracks me up.
Tommy, you know that marking conditions are a bit weird when you have the Anons, the Bybit affiliate link Anons go at it with each other, and one of them is saying that he needs more monthly bonuses because of his fees are maker and taker fees. We're back in that environment.
Oh man,
the weird edge lords.
You know what that is, right? That's somebody who just got washed out.
I mean, dude, people got carded out. Look at Total 3.
Yeah.
Like BTC is basically the Dow Jones, and most people, they really don't buy the Dow Jones, bro. They buy the IWM on leverage, brother. You know,
they got carded.
If they're buying IWM instead of the NASDAQ, they're losing out, man.
Yeah,
big time.
It's crazy. Like, this market's nuts, man. You watch people come in, like, work themselves up to like millions, and they get washed down to like 10K every single time. It's like, bro, if you work yourself up to millions, you should take some off the table. Don't be freaking stupid.
Yeah.
You don't just keep amping up the leverage.
Well, it's like the whole the Thanksgiving turkey probability of becoming of getting caught, right? It's like it goes it's just like a constant trajectory or whatever, and then eventually it goes to zero because the turkey gets eaten or whatever. But that's kind of how crypto participants approach the market. If you don't hit your arbitrary number, they feel like they have like some arbitrary number to retire, hit their goals, whatever. Maybe it was the number they started or they have in their head for whatever reason. But people will just stay fully exposed to the market until they hit that number, and they always forget how much this market can really move and fluctuate, right? Like, since April's a pretty perfect example. And then, you know, if the market's been chopping, they'll try to overtrade to make it all back in conditions where perp traders are dying left and right. I mean, I probably know like two traders on futures, and I know some really talented traders that have actually been making money trading leverage over the last few weeks. Like, just explicitly perps as their like expression of trading. And I don't want to like broad brush too much, but I mean, most people that are trying to trade this on leverage are getting torn to shreds, man. I haven't even been bothering. Like, why would you? ETH is moving like 50 points per hour. How do you even trade that on leverage, man? Unless you're a literal sniper with your entries, you're gonna get beaten up.
Well, imagine a world where you come in with 100K, amp that up to $1 million, take under 800K off the table, put it to the side, work with the 200K you have left, maybe get washed a little bit on it, work it back up to $1 million again, take 800K off the table, do 200K again. Like, people, they don't have a strategy. They just keep trying to amp the same amount of money and keep getting washed in the same trade. They don't know how to set anything to the side to make sure they're not getting completely washed out.
Well, the benefit of crypto too, Will, it's like you don't even need, you really don't even have to have your net worth in crypto to make life-changing money, which is something, unfortunately, people only learn after they've gotten their net worth incinerated by the market. But no, I mean, there's so much beta in these markets that, like, as long as you don't, it's really like you don't want to be forced out of positioning in crypto. Like, you want to be in it longer term in assets that ideally are going to continue to appreciate. So obviously you're not going to want to be in like poop coin USD with your net worth. But what are you doing, Jackus? Time. But yeah, I mean, beta, it's literally as simple as like study beta exposure, what that means. You don't have to have your entire portfolio in it to make life-changing wealth, because the multiples in a bull market are just so insane. But everybody's so focused on like, ooh, I caught the bottom, or did I catch the bottom? If I didn't catch the bottom, I'm going to sell out of my position. But it's really, you just have to have enough beta that you can capture that upside while making sure you don't have too much beta so that you get wrecked on any downside swing or pushed out of your positioning because the downside was too much to stomach. But
yeah, man, I don't know. This market's kind of crazy. There's gonna be winners, gonna be losers at the end of the day. We're at an hour 30. What do you guys want to do here?
Yeah, we can go ahead and wrap it up. And to your point, Will, before we finish up, I just wanted to say this is something that we were talking about on yesterday's show, where time in the market typically does yield the highest probability returns for investors. Whereas if you focus too much on a lower time frame, obviously those people have to be right more frequently, so their chances of winning over a longer term are lower. But crypto is unique in the sense that you can't just buy anything and make it, because a lot of this stuff will not come back, as we have seen over the years. But yeah, like Frank says, it is wrap dog it up time. That is what we're gonna do. But thank you, as always, for tuning in. Just a few little housekeeping notes before we officially finish up, guys. A reminder that we have launched our brand new hedge fund, BB Wealth Management. That is a fund that specializes in digital asset exposure to capture their asymmetric history.
You're breaking up there, Tommy.
No, I am.
You're rugging.
No.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. That is a primarily digital asset focused fund that specializes in the asymmetric history for upside returns, or capitalizing on them, as well as managing the risks posed in any financial market. So if becoming an LP or an accredited investor is something that interests you, we do have more information linked in the description of this video. Just reach out to us. We will answer hopefully any and all of your questions. And yeah, I mean, we crushed this last downside move, as we've been saying. You're probably going to continue to hear me preach about that, just because yeah, we really did crush. We caught a majority of the move to the downside, and obviously protected, the holdings of the fund as well. So very pleased about how that went. And if you are interested in having us potentially manage your capital for you, we are an SEC registered fund if you meet the requirements. So like I said, more information linked in the description of the video below. We also have the BB Academy, which has been around for about 4 or 5 months now. But like I said, we've gotten some really great reviews on it already, which is not surprising to us, because we did put a lot of effort into it, a lot of time. And of course, you get to learn from every member on the team our various different trading styles, how we approach markets, how we analyze charts, and ultimately how we trade. So whether or not you are looking to hone that educational base, or whether you are looking to take your trading to mastery level, I believe that this course will definitely help you, be able to accomplish that. So make sure to check that out as well. It's also linked in the description of the video. I'm going to mention it again. The BB Terminal is coming out very, very soon. This is a product that we are extremely excited about. So this is a product that we are extremely excited about, and we've been working very hard to build it for you guys. We have shown some snippets on previous market checks, such as Friday. So check that out if you are interested in seeing what the BB Terminal is all about. But I have a feeling that you guys are going to love that product. Not too long from now that you're going to be able to finally try it out. But lastly, our programming, guys. If you enjoyed Market Check, we will be back for another episode tomorrow, Thursday. Typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same as always, whenever the New York Stock Exchange is open on the weekdays. Of course, we also have Market Talk hosted by the man right above me. And I'm talking about Wabi. He does a great job on the show. And I always like to say, panel.
It's in 2 hours today. It's in 2 hours today with me and Jack. It's in 2 hours. It's a bit earlier today.
Perfect.
In 2 hours, yeah. Instead of the usual 4:20, 4:30, I usually host it at that time. So yeah, it's always great banter on those shows. Sometimes people go back and forth, and it's pretty entertaining. It's basically like an audio version of these shows, and the usual, right? Hour and a half, good banter, always recorded. People can go back on it, but yeah, it's always a great time to interact with CT. They're a bit more savage than the than the YouTubers. I'll say that. It's kind of like two different communities, to be honest, right? Like some people actively, like, they only use Twitter, or like they only use like Twitter, YouTube. Like I haven't really seen people that use both Twitter and YouTube. Jack is
all of us.
Don't you dare rug me, brother. Don't rug me again.
Jack is, I did that to him yesterday. Jack is,
I know, Tucker.
Jack is.
Yeah.
When
But
he
yeah,
said it was
guys.
Jackis, I was like, boom. Just
It'll be a great show as always, guys. So make sure to tune in for Market Talk with Wabi and maybe Jackus. Judging by the meme, it does. I do think the Jackus will be there. I think he's just trolling. But what was that, Will?
Leafy has a question about the terminal. I don't know if you know the answer to that.
Will be a trading view based chart. Yes, it will be trading view based. We made sure that the will include trading view based, but
Waffle.
So you got to read the rest of that though, Tommy.
Like if I have a trading view account no, it will not. Your trading view I don't think we have trading view accounts synced to the terminal, but maybe that's something that we look to integrate.
I bet we could. I bet that wouldn't be that hard. I don't know. We'll ask it. I'll ask Ed about that, but yeah, no, the charts will be TradingView. We paid TradingView a small fortune, the GDP of a small country to use.
Only the best for you guys. Only the best for you guys. But
yeah, we had to go with the best.
That concludes today's show, guys. We will be back for another episode tomorrow morning. Make sure to tune in for Market Talk with King Wabi and Jackus later this afternoon. And as always, guys, thank you again and stay safe.